So good morning, welcome. It's a 1 hour gentle Kripalu yoga class. Welcome, it's Judith. As you know, the props we use, I'll quickly run through it. Yoga mat, if you don't have that available, then you could use a folded blanket or beach towel on preferably a carpeted surface, not tile or wood. Should you have some yoga blocks, that would be great, 2 of them. These are the styrofoam version. And if those aren't available, you might be able to substitute with a couple of canned goods of equal size and weight, perhaps. And if you don't have any of these props, don't panic, because I'll try to offer options. Here's this standard yoga strap. This is easy to substitute with a belt, a dog leash, a bathrobe tie, a scarf. And then I've got a rolled towel here. It's like a little fake bolster, something for padding. I have a squishy mat, but you could use small cushions from the bed or the sofa. And then if you should happen to have hand weights and would like to fold them in, this is a set of 1-pounders. I would recommend nothing heavier than 2 pounds for this class. And last but not least, the chair. This has no wheels and no arms. It's a standard folding chair, nice and sturdy once you put it on your yoga mat. Or you could place the legs of the chair, the back legs, up against where the wall meets the baseboard or the floor. So it's not moving when you start pushing weight on it, that kind of thing. So we'll leave the chair here. Let's start sitting in the chair for a change. How about that? So placing the bum into the chair seat, preferably closer to the front of the chair seat than the back of the chair seat. Legs and feet in parallel, hands can be flat on the thighs. Maybe you want to pull flush away from sits bones to get a better connection to the chair seat. And then we're going to start gently warming the body by swirling the rib cage in a circular fashion. So see if you can isolate the ribs. Everything else is merely going along for the ride. They're passive. So it's the rib cage that's doing the work. And think about inhaling forward, exhaling, squeezing the navel to spine as you circle into the back. So sitting tall, crown of head, like a helium balloon floating up to the sky. Let's corkscrew back to center. Take a breath in the center, and then start swirling in the opposite direction, inhaling forward, exhaling back as you squeeze the navel to the spine, getting some nice horizontal movement here, circling the ribs. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then coming back to center. Let's roll some shoulders, just a few of these, just to get it warmed. And then I also forgot to say, if whatever is being offered doesn't work for your body, you can modify. You could do something else, like another posture, or you could skip it altogether. So just, use your own judgment. You are in charge, not me. You know where the sore spots are in your body. All right, let's bring that to stillness. Let's go ahead and just drop the chin to the center of the chest, stretching the back of the neck, and then rolling right ear to right shoulder. Oh, sweeping forward, left ear to left shoulder. So we're only doing the half circle here with the neck. Oh, and you're scraping something off of your chin onto your chest. You can choose what that might be. Let's do 1 more time each side. Oh, breathing. And then coming back to center. The chin will float parallel to the earth. And let's just take it up just slightly, not too much. You don't want to crunch up the back of the neck, all right? And then with your nose, you're going to make the letter O in the air, circling with your nose as though you're drawing the letter O in the air for 4, 3, 2, 1, back to center, and then circling in the other direction The head is just slightly tilted back. You're not crushing the back part of the neck. You don't want to squish up those vertebrae in the back of the neck. Let's do 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Back to center. Let's just lift the arms up. We're going to bend the elbows. The fingertips can point towards each other. We're going to inhale and then exhale. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Inhale forward, exhale back. Oh. So finding your own rhythm, your own pace as you press forward and back. See if you can keep the shoulders dropped away from the ears. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. And then changing those arms into goalpost arms, goddess arms in yoga. We're going to inhale, 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 and then exhale as you sweep the arms back behind you. Inhale, inhale, inhale. Exhale, big sweep behind you. Last one. Return to goddess arms. Now we just tilt to the right, coming back to center, tilting to the left. So you're only moving from the waist up, doing your best to keep everything from the waist down. Still, let's do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Nice. Arms are still in goalpost arms. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale for 4, 3, maybe baby back bend as you look at the ceiling. 2, 1. And then arms can float down gently, shake them out. Very nice. Let's bounce the legs a bit here. Enliven the legs and the feet. And then gradually bring them down to stillness. You might want to rest the hands on the thighs. Lifting right heel, place it down. Lifting left heel, place it down. Adjusting it so you get to the highest lift with the heels. Sitting tall. Let's do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then very slowly, let's take the legs out to a wider stance, 30 to 45 degrees. Let's just go ahead and place the right forearm on the right thigh. Left arm can sweep over by the ear. I have to modify this side, but the arm should be by the ear. Fingertips stretching towards the right side wall for 4, 3, 2, 1. Top elbow bends. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then slowly, half rainbow arc as you resist gravity going down. Just don't let the arm collapse if you can avoid it. Shake everything out. Little wiggles might feel good. And then the left forearm is going to go onto the left thigh. Right arm is going to stretch over by the ear. Fingertips stretch to the left side wall for 4, 3. Ribs spin open to sky. 2, 1. Coming back to center. Inhale, bend top elbow. Exhale, press it away. Inhale, bend top elbow. Exhale, press it away. We'll do 4, 3, 2, 1, nice. And then slowly again, resisting the gravity with the arm and not letting it collapse. Let's go ahead and heel toe the feet together. Let's get up and down on the chair. It's a little chair challenge. So palms could stack over the heart center, or you could hook the thumbs together, spread the fingers wide like little feathers, place them all over the heart, Eagle Mudra in yoga. Or you could use the arms to help you lift up if you need assistance in that respect. The feet are flat, legs and feet in parallel, toes point forward. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale for 8, or as many as you can manage. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now this one, we're not going to land. We're going to hover. See if you can keep the torso upright as you do little pumps with the legs for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Re-straighten, very nice. Unwind the arms, shake everything out, arms and legs, feet and hands, yay. And we're going to try a new thing here. I'm going to take the chair behind, and I won't be facing you, but you can see how the moves are going to go. So you're going to grab the back of your chair with both hands. You're going to stand nice and tall, and I won't mirror you. So because I'm facing the same way you are now. So left foot goes back into a curtsy. Straighten the leg, return the foot. Right leg goes back into a curtsy, straighten the leg, return the foot. So slowly, side to side, standing as tall as you can, breathing for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's stay over on the right to 1. So this is the left foot. Little pumps here. See if you can keep the torso nice and tall for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We straighten. Left foot meets the right. Right foot moves over to the left. Little pumps here, little tiny pumps for 8 and 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Return right foot to left. Shake out the legs. How was that one? Very nice. Let's take the chair off to one side. Or you might want to keep it if you don't have blocks. Blocks would be good for this next move. And if you don't have blocks, you could take your chair, turn it around to face you so the seat is facing you, and you could use your hands there for support. So legs are nice and wide, toes point out 30 to 45. Inhale, bend the knees. We're going in for those deep squats now. Exhale, straighten the legs. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, straighten the legs. Let's do 8, or as many as you can manage. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, stay down on 1, little pumps. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's stay down into this big squat. Right forearm to right thigh. Left hand on block, maybe on chair seat. So figure out what's going to work for you. You may need to modify this, but you're going to pump into this right leg. Right forearm is rests on right thigh. Left leg is straight. Stretching out that inner adductor muscle, which tends to be forgotten about. And the toes point up to the sky. Little pumps into the right hip for 8. Don't let the head dangle here. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly moving over to the left. Left forearm to left thigh. Right hand on block or possibly on the chair seat. Right leg is straight now. Big stretch for that inner adductor muscle on the right leg. We tend to forget about it. Pumping into the left hip now. Don't let the head dangle. Engage the abs for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Back to center. Let's stay in the squat here. If you have a block, you might want to lift the floor closer if you lift the block up to the low setting or the next higher setting. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, straighten the legs as you bow to your mat. Here you can let the head dangle. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. 2 more. Bending and straightening and bowing. Bending and straightening. Let's keep it straight. Right hand grabs outside of left ankle. Right hand grabs outside of left ankle. Trying to get the chest close to the top of that left thigh for 4, 3, 2, 1. Staying right here. The top left arm could go up straight to the sky. If that's too much, rest the hand on the sacrum. So either way, for 4, 3, 2, 1, circle top straight arm. 4, 3, 2, 1, other way. 4, 3, 2, 1. Top arm comes down. Moving over to the right. Left hand grabs outside of left ankle. Left hand grabs outside of left ankle. Top arm goes straight, right arm, or that right hand rests on the sacrum. You're trying to press the chest close to the top of the right thigh for 4, 3, 2, 1. Straight arm is circling. 4, 3, 2, 1. Other way. 4, 3, 2, 1. Top arm comes down, back to center. Ooh, let's heel toe the feet together or step the feet together until the feet are directly under the hips. Toes point forward. Hands can rest at the ankles. A series of flat back lifts. Squeeze the abs. Inhale, flat back lift. Shoulders drop away from ears. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back lift. Exhale, forward fold. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And let's go all the way up to the thighs. Hands rest here. As you stack the bones, roll the shoulders, open the chest. And then one hand on heart, one hand on belly. Just allowing the eyes to drop closed, or perhaps just a soft gaze on the earth. You don't want to get dizzy. And now just noticing where the energy has moved in the body. The blood is moving, heart beating, lymph and chi floating throughout the system. Let's take 3 big breaths here. Inhale, belly expands, rib cage expands, collarbones lift, noticing, pausing at the top. Exhaling, chest, ribs, belly, squeezing out all the air at the bottom. Inhale, belly, ribs, chest, noticing, pausing at the top. Exhaling, chest, ribs, belly, squeezing out all the air at the bottom. 2 more just like that on your own. Inhale. Okay, we're back. So where were we? Let's take the blocks, you have them, and place them at the narrow end of the mat. Yeah, we completely lost the internet connection. That's what happened. So happy Friday. Okay, so let's face the narrow end of the mat, and I place the blocks there so we know that they're there if you're using the blocks. And let's do some big swan dives. Inhale up, exhale, forward fold. Inhale up, exhale, forward fold. Let's do 3 of these. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And then staying down on this one. Inhale and exhale. Now the fingertips might reach the mat. If it doesn't get there, maybe place the hands on blocks or maybe on thighs if you're not using blocks. And here you can let the head hang, micro bending the knees left and right. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees and legs come to stillness, stepping back into downward facing dog. And then maybe you got your body in a triangle shape. Bicycle pedal the heels. Wag your butt, your dog tail, your fluffy dog tail. Let's do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Legs come to stillness. Left foot comes to center of mat. Float the right leg up, 3-legged dog. Maybe you want to lift that top leg or pump with the standing leg for 4, 3, 2, 1. Top foot comes down. Right foot stays in middle of mat. Left leg goes up to the sky. Little pumps with the top leg and or the standing leg for 4, 3, 2, 1. Left foot comes down, meets the right. And let's float the knees down to the mat. Big toes together, knees wide apart. Press into child pose. So take the towel back behind the knees. If you're using a rolled towel like me, you'll be amazed at how much that helps. And then if you want to press the bum back towards the heels, maybe the arms stretch forward, maybe the arms stay by the legs. Forehead rests on mat. If the forehead isn't getting there, you can stack palms and place the forehead there, or stack fists, rest the forehead there. Or if you have blocks, or even maybe a rolled towel or blanket, you can rest the forehead there. So once you've organized your child pose, let's rock side to side. Big full breaths. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. And then coming back up to neutral table. And taking the towel away from behind the knees. I'm patting my knees with my squishy mat. And then you can take either on low blocks or on the mat. Hands are flat, fingers are spread wide. We're just going to do some hip circling here. See if you can engage those abs here. We don't want abs on the mat in this part. So getting some synovial fluid moving in the hips. And then coming back to neutral and circling the hips the opposite direction. Big full breaths all the way down to the bottom lobes of the lungs for 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. And then coming back to stillness. Let's go ahead and I'm going to face the long end of the mat. I'm going to have let's leave the blocks alone for now. Let's float the arms up to the sky, index fingers pointing like a steeple. And I'm going to use this is a sort of modify for me. I take my towel behind the backs of the knees, and then we're going to come straight up. Left butt cheek to left heel, come back up, right butt cheek to right heel. So you're moving side to side. You're trying not to let the torso collapse. You're strengthening the quads. You're strengthening the butt. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then the arms float down. Let's go ahead and come off of the knees for now. Here you might wish to sit on a blanket, a folded blanket or towel, or maybe some other things you have available to help lift up the hips. And once you get that organized, let's take the legs straight. If you have blocks and would like to use them in this way, the 2 blocks can go together behind the backs of the knees, and that will give you even more support for your straight legs. So again, pulling flesh away from sits bones. Hands can rest where it feels right. Let's just flex the feet, point the toes, flex the feet and point the toes. See if you can drop the shoulders away from ears. Think about crown of head floating up to sky. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Circle the ankles. Woo. This you could do while watching Netflix or whatever. Your favorite football game or whatever. Encouraging them with your ankle circles. Going the other direction. Nice and gentle. And then bringing that to stillness. Let's take the legs just slightly farther apart. The feet are still going to stay flexed. Internally rotate both legs. Back to neutral, externally rotate. So we're doing again this windshield wipering with the feet. Big full breaths, sitting tall. So now we're pumping synovial fluid into all the joints of the legs, all the way up to the hips. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then shake the legs out. Very nice. Let's take the right leg off to the side, 30 degrees. Bend the left knee. If you need to prop this left knee, if it's hanging in space, prop it. You don't want to be gripping in the hip crease area. So this right leg is straight, the foot stays flexed throughout. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, tilting over to the right. Top arm stretches by the ear. Top ribs spin open to the sky. The bottom arm could rest on top of the leg. It could rest in front of the leg, or it could rest on a block in front of the leg. See if you can use that lower arm for leverage to spin those top ribs open even more. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming out of it slowly, slowly. Don't pop out of it. And then we're going to face that extended right leg. Now, one more time, float the arms up. Inhale up. Exhale, extending over that extended right leg. The chest is getting close to the top of the right thigh, perhaps. And maybe the hands grab the leg itself, or maybe the hands are on the earth. You can choose. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Staying right here. Chest presses close to the top of the right thigh. The right hand wraps around either to sacrum, or perhaps the fingers slip into opposite hip crease. Looking over the right shoulder to the wall behind. Don't let the head dangle. So the crown of the head is aiming toward that big toe. For 4, 3, 2, 1, very nice, and then slowly unwind back arm, slowly float the torso upright. Now we're going to move to the other side. So you can assist the left leg off to the side. You're going to bend the right knee. Now on this side, my knee is hanging in space, so I am going to prop it with my block, or you could prop it with a towel or a blanket. And we'll start by facing forward. The left foot stays flexed throughout, sitting nice and tall, lifting up, inhale up, exhale over to the left. The top arm spins open, the ribs spin open to sky, the fingertips stretch to the left, and that bottom arm can rest on top of the leg, in front of the leg, or on a block in front of the leg. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back up to center slowly. Now we just turn maybe 10 degrees to face the extended left leg. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, stretching over the leg. I'm grabbing the shin, but you might want to grab wherever you can manage to grab. And then press the chest close to the top of the left thigh. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Staying right here, the left arm wraps around back body to sacrum or opposite hip crease, looking over the left shoulder to the wall behind. For 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly unwinding, very slowly, coming up, just don't pop up. There we go. Now let's extend both legs out to the side. Ooh, boy. So you might want to take this and push yourself a little farther forward to get a wider expanse, but don't force or jam anything. If you have blocks and want to add blocks to this, you can, and you can do that in any configuration you want, doesn't matter, just so long as your forehead can reach those blocks. So we're going to inhale up, exhale, arms stretch out to the sides. You're going to grab the legs or the feet somewhere, and then you're going to rest the forehead on your blocks, if you have them. If not, just stretch forward with a flat back. Don't let the head dangle. And once you've organized arms and legs and your head, see if you can press forward with the sternum so you're keeping the back flat. And then relaxing everything you don't need to hold this, so you're not unnecessarily holding extra tension. So big full breaths here. Think about filling the back body with breath for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then slowly releasing whatever you're holding on to, whether it's feet, legs, thighs, slowly drifting the torso back upright, taking those legs together and shaking them out. Let's go ahead and do some tapping on the legs. And we'll just start by tapping the lower legs here. Getting some blood flow up to the surface of the skin. When you get to the knee, gently massage the knee. Do not smash on it, please. They get very crabby, as you know, as we get older. So be nice to your knees. And then the thigh can be tapped all the way around the thigh. This is a good way to wake yourself up in the morning. And then bringing that to stillness, taking behind the back of that right knee. You're going to take one hand and start circling behind the back of the knee. This is a place where the lymph material likes to dump, so we're encouraging it to move. Circle the other direction. Now, the blood is pumped by the heart. The lymph has no pumping system except us. We have to do that. So that's what has happening here. And then once that feels complete, drawing from the ankle all the way up the leg 3 times, just drawing up some of that life energy you've just generated up the leg into the torso of the body. Let's go to the other leg. Start tapping the lower leg. And then as you approach the knee, a nice gentle gliding massage-like motion on the knee, sending some love to your knee. And then the thigh all the way around can be tapped. And when that feels complete, one hand behind the back of that knee, and you're going to circle. Nice, steady pressure, nothing violent. And then you're going to circle the other direction, breathing. And when that feels complete, the hands come down to the ankle and you're going to drag them up the leg. You can either touch the leg or not touch the leg. It doesn't matter. Bringing us some of that energy we just generated up into the torso. And then just shake out the hands. Let's bring the soles of the feet together, kissing, Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. And let's just rock side to side for 8, 7, sitting as tall as you can, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then coming back to center, closing the knees up together. Let's remove props from the workspace here, from your pad, from your yogic mat. I'm going to grab my weights. All right. And let's face the narrow end of the mat. Feet in parallel, toes point forward. You can grab backs of thighs or front of shins, avoid the knee joint. Inhale forward and then squeezing it back, navel to spine, lifting the chest as you go forward, exhaling back and squeezing. One more like this. Inhale forward, exhale back, and then we're going to roll all the way down onto the back body, drawing the bent knees into chest. Maybe there's a little rock side to side that feels good. Maybe it's a static press. You can choose. Here I'm massaging the entire back body from tailbone to the back of the skull. Let's come back to the center in stillness, extend the legs wide apart, and then grab, the knees are bent. You're going to grab the ankles or the shins. Let's use the weight of the arms to open up that hip crease. That's an area that gets really tight from all the sitting and driving and tooling around in shopping carts, etc., the slumping over, and then not getting this part stretched out. So here, you might want to rock back and forth, just like we were doing, and or flexing and pointing the feet, spreading the toes wide, circling the ankles. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then closing the knees, nice and easy. Let's take the left thigh into the chest. The right foot hits the mat. The knee is bent. Let's straighten the right leg. Oh yeah, flex the right foot. You're going to lift that right straight leg and we're going to pump it up to the sky. Little pumps. If you want more challenge, you lift the head, neck, and shoulders, and you can rest one hand behind the back of the skull. So we're pumping that straight leg up to the sky for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Leg comes down, head, neck, and shoulders return to earth. Left foot comes to the mat. Rebend the right knee. The right foot is flexed, flat on the mat, sorry. And then the left leg is straight. Right thigh into chest. Same idea. Flexing the left foot, the left leg is straight. You don't ever land the leg stays pumping. So lifting head, neck, and shoulders, maybe. Pumping the left straight leg for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Don't yank on the back of the neck. 3, 2, 1. Leg comes down, head, neck, and shoulders come down, right foot returns to earth. Rebend both knees, feet are flat, feet are mat width apart. Windshield wiper the bent knees. Yay, this should provide some relief. Whee! Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Knees come back up. Let's drop the knees off to the left. I'm not mirroring you. Left straight arm lifts up. No, sorry, right straight arm lifts up. Inhale, and then the right palm meets the left palm. Open book. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. So finding your own rhythm, just try not to race through it. One more like this. And then back to T position with the arms, the knees, point up to sky, windshield wiper, feet are mat width apart. Now the knees drop to the right. Left straight arm lifts up. Left palm meets right palm. Inhale, open. Inhale, exhale, close. Inhale, open. Let's do 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very nice. And then coming back, realigning your spine, lining up crown of head with tailbone, windshield wipering the knees side to side for 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees come back to neutral. They're still bent. The feet are still mat width apart. And so let's extend the straight arms up right over the armpits. No weight or one weight in each hand. Circle the arms. We're embracing our friend, the barrel. Opening it up. Inhale, don't let upper arms land. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Let's do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then reopen. Don't let the upper arms land on the earth if you can avoid it. And little pumps here, working on the pectoral areas for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Reclose, re-straighten, arms come down. Maybe you want to add weights to the hip crease, or maybe you don't. The legs are now in parallel. Inhale, tilt the pelvis forward. Exhale, lift the hips up and squeeze. So tuck the chin in the center of the chest. Don't look side to side. A few bridge poses here. Roll it back down. Inhale, tilt the pelvis forward. Exhale, lift and squeeze. You're squeezing the buttocks, the abdomen, the pelvic floor, the quads. Roll it down. Let's do 2 more like this. Tilting forward, lifting and squeezing. Rolling it down. Next time, tilting it forward. This time, we're going to stay up and lift. We're going to squeeze right butt cheek and left butt cheek for 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to center. Tap the knees together for 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. And then slowly rolling that spine down like a string of pearls, vertebra by vertebra. Very slowly. Draw one knee into the chest, draw second knee into chest, maybe a little rock side to side. Maybe you want to just extend the arms up and rock side to side, legs and arms together. Or maybe the arms go one way and the legs go the other way. Again, you could be working on transverse abdominals, doing it this way. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. And then back to center. Arms can come down. Let's start kicking ourselves in the butt here, pumping the legs. One more time for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. And then slowly placing the feet back down to earth, stretching out the legs onto the mat. Arms and legs 30 to 45 degrees. We have arrived in Shavasana, resting pose, corpse pose. Maybe a few big breaths here, a sigh of relief here. Oh, and then if you want to roll a blanket under the knees to protect the back, you could do that. Maybe cover yourself with a blanket, add socks and sweatshirts. If flat on the back isn't working, return to feet mat width apart, knock the knees together like a tent, restorative rest. If lying on the back isn't working, rolling onto one side, stacking hips and legs, resting the head on the upper arm or maybe on a block, or legs up the wall would be a good one if you have an available wall. Or you could sit in a chair, feet flat, crown of head floating up to sky. And then once you've organized arms and legs, just allowing the eyes to drop closed, relaxing the face and the jaw, the back of the neck. And then just allowing the eyes to close, moving in towards our friend, the hot tub. Letting that warmth envelop the feet and the ankles and the low legs. And then it moves into the knees, permeating the complex structure of the knees. And then it moves into the hips, the pelvis, the buttocks, the low back releases. From there, from the belly, it moves into the waist and the torso, enveloping the ribs, heart, lungs, liver, kidneys, pancreas, spleen, all the vital organs deeply relaxed. And from there, it moves into the chest and shoulders and moves down both arms, all the way to the fingertips, all the way to the fingertips. It envelops the throat and the neck. And then it moves into the head, all the way to the crown of the head. The back of the neck releases, the face and the jaw let go. The tongue lies at the bottom of the mouth, teeth slightly apart. Eyes sink deep into the skull, as though a white circle of healing light envelops the entire body. Noticing the earth below supporting you. Noticing the stars, moon, galaxies far above. Noticing the space you've created inside the body and the space around the body. Noticing the whole body together. The whole body together. The whole body together. And while we're floating in Shavasana, here is a poem from Mary Oliver from her collection entitled Dogfish. You don't want to hear the story of my life. In any way, I don't want to tell it. I want to listen to the enormous waterfalls of the sun. And anyway, it's the same old story. A few people just trying one way or another to survive. Mostly, I want to be kind. If you'd like to remain in Shavasana for as long as feels right, please stay right there. No need to move. But if you're ready to meet the day, begin to bring some gentle movement to fingers and toes and arms and legs. And as you are ready, drawing the knees into the chest, giving yourself a well-deserved hug, and then rolling onto your favorite side and pausing there for just a few breaths in embryo posture. And on the next inhale, keeping the eyes closed, press yourself up into a comfortable seated posture, rooting the sits bones down into the earth, drawing the crown of the head up into the sky, scanning the body for the effects of the practice, and thanking the body for all it does all day, every day, and bringing to mind one thing for which you are grateful. And on the next inhale, let's float the palms up overhead, hands meet in prayer, dropping down the midline, stopping at the heart, samastiti, this beating heart. All yogic postures are designed to bring you into the present moment where you are infinite, eternal, and whole. I salute the bright light in each and every one of you. Namaste. Jai Bhagwan.